It's kind of like coming home and battling your toaster and your kettle and like just the blender. It's like throw it all in there. Talk about a game that manages to sneak up on you. I feel like Destiny Connected is a cat that managed to pounce into October and completely surprised me, Nat, that it was even coming out.
It did.
Now, I actually did a talk on this a little while back now, if we dial it back, and I thought it was looking really cool. And since it's out now, I figured we could have a chat about what exactly this game is. Just a bit of a catch-up about the game.
Yep.
So, where do you start? Where are you at with this game?
Where am I at with this game? I think it looks really cool. Like,
That's the first thing that just kind of goes, my eyeballs, yes, that looks cool.
exactly, the artwork, because it's not an artwork you'd expect. It's not something you really see these days anymore. Like the character, like the main character you play, it's like she's got like really big eyes.
Well, the first thing, like when you see it, the first thing that my eyes just go, I relate this to that, is like a PS2 game.
Yeah,
It's almost like going back to a PS2 RPG, or like a lot of people call it like Jimmy Neutron, or this, I don't know, people relate it to a lot of different stuff, but it has its own unique art style that isn't just like saying, hey, he's anime JRPG, you know?
Yeah, exactly. They have gone for something completely different, which is a nice feature.
Yeah, now the game itself is a JRPG. I don't feel like we mentioned that from the start. So it is a Japanese RPG. It's apparently pretty light on the actual RPG mechanics. It's not something that's super deep and super heavy and hard to understand. It seems pretty easy kind of to get into.
It does, doesn't it? It doesn't, like, when you look at the battles, it doesn't seem like one of those JRPGs that just has, like, this massive skill tree, you know, all these different
abilities and stuff
exactly,
going on. Yeah.
Exactly. It seems like it's been dialed down a lot more to make it a lot more simple and, like, if it's maybe like your first JRPG, you know, something a bit easier to get into.
Definitely. Now, can we please talk about the enemy design?
Absolutely. They are so cool.
Aren't they? So, because of where the game's based, which we'll kind of get into in a second, everything in the game, like all the different type of enemies that you're actually going to come up against, are all based around different household appliances.
Yeah, so this is really cool. It's not just like your standard monsters that you'd expect to see. You know, you go into a battle against a TV, a blender. And like, this is so cool. It kind of reminds you a little bit of Transformers. You know, when you see like, I think like the toaster it is that comes to life. And it's really cool. I do like the enemy art style to this.
I know, it's kind of like coming home and battling your toaster and your kettle and like just the blender. It's like throw it all in there.
Yeah, exactly. There was a stove as well that's like throwing things out of it at you to attack you.
And they would like make the sounds like when a stove is done, you know, the pa-ting sound. It makes that same sound. I like that little detail to it. That's
really cool. I'd like to see what other household appliances you battle.
Yeah, and so because of that, I think this game is a little bit of a unique game just because of what you're battling, and it seems to all be based kind of like town, I guess, in one town.
It does seem like it, but this one seems a bit more meatier because you can actually go back in time as well.
And I guess that's the kind of hook to the game, because the overall plot that we're following along here is we're basically living through Y2K.
Yes.
This is the end of the world. This is what was supposed to happen when Y2K happened. I don't know if our toasters were meant to attack us, but everything was meant to go wrong.
Like the way you say this is what was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Like we prevented it from happening.
Well, now it's a long story, but we did actually kind of prevent Y2K from happening. I don't want to get into it too deep here, but the basic, I guess what kind of happened back there was that at the year 2000, because of the clocks resetting and because of all the internal clocks in all the computers not knowing what the next number to tick up with, I forget exactly how it happens, but let's say it goes from 3 digits to 4 digits, and the computers couldn't do that.
Yeah, they didn't realise it had to go to 000.
Yeah, it was meant to mess up all the bank systems. All of this different stuff was just meant to mess up, and so the economy was meant to collapse and everything was going to go wrong at that stage. But there was actually people working behind the scenes to prevent that from happening. So, long story short, that didn't happen. That wasn't the chat that I was expecting to get into on this podcast.
Okay, well, that's good that they saved us from our toasters coming to life.
It is. I know, I'm glad.
I don't think that was going to happen.
No, I don't think. But this is their like spin on that. This is their like fantasy version of Y2K of that happening in the year 2000. So that's cool.
It's an interesting game. It's like almost 20 years later that someone's made a game on what would have happened if Y2K did happen.
Exactly. And I don't know. I just think between the art style, the fact that we're living through Y2K, and now we're going back in the past to kind of prevent it, it feels unique. And then you throw in there that you have this colourful cast of characters who has the robot out of Chrono Trigger. I'm convinced of that.
He does look a bit like him, doesn't he?
He does. Like, it just, I don't know. There's a lot of games with yellow robots for some reason, by the way, as well. I don't know
that seems to be a popular colour for robots.
I don't know if that's a thing, but that's a thing.
If you have a robot, it has to be yellow.
Yeah, anyway, I don't want to drag this chat out for too long. I just wanted to give a quick summary as to what the game kind of is. And do you have any closing thoughts about the game before we slip on out of this conversation.
I heard that it's not a hugely long game either.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, like, I don't know if it's true or not, but
I don't know how
yeah,
quick-
I did hear it's not like your typical JRPGs where, you know, you go put 80 hours into or something. I did hear that it was shorter.
Okay. I didn't get many impressions out there from people because I simply think that because it's being a JRPG, I don't know if NIS gave the codes out very early, so a lot of people have managed to get through it by this stage, but there wasn't actually a lot of impressions coming out at the launch of the game.
Well, I only saw that from one person, so
Yeah.
they could have just got through it quickly.
Okay,
It's
grain
hard
of
to
salts
say.
there.
Yeah,
Grain of salts.
exactly.
Everybody, get
Yep.
your grain of salts. But
Yep.
for today's end screen, Nat, you're taking over today. What have you got for me?
I am. I just wanted to show off my game that came in the mail today.
Ukulele and the Impossible Air, if you got it not reflecting on the light.
I think people will be able to see that.
you got them. Here, pass it here.
I was trying not to blind you all.
Ukulele and the Impossible
With the light.
Lair. And Nat, when are you starting that?
Oh, that is a good question. I don't actually know. Like, I
You're
will be.
Link's Awakening, Ring Fit. You're doing too much at the moment, Nat. Just slow
Well,
down.
I will be finishing Link's Awakening soon, but I don't know what to start next. There's just too many games. And Luigi's Mansion comes out next week.
Oh my! Next week.
Yes.
My heart can't handle it, Nat.